RTI, Response to Intervention by Jamie Gentry. Are you a parent who is wondering why your school is adapting RTI? What is RTI? And will it help my student? Or will my student not get the help that they need? Here is a short presentation to make you feel better about what RTI is and how it will be used to help your student in the classroom. What is RTI? RTI is response to intervention. According to Vaughn and Boss, 2015, it is a current model for screening students and using their response to intervention as a data source to facilitate identifying students who need special education services. RTI, response to intervention, provides a universal screening so that educators can identify students with potential learning or behavior problems and can then implement research-based practices. In RTI, teachers can monitor students' academic or behavioral responses and use the response data as a means of determining their success. The process of RTI helps to identify students with learning disabilities by replacing discrepancy criteria and using student responses to intervention as part of the decision-making process. So, how is this different than what teachers have used before? Older models ran off of the wait to fail model, which used IQ achievement assessments to identify struggling students. But now we look at prevention. In the reauthorization of IDEA, RTI was recommended to be provided as a means of preventing learning and behavior difficulties. Vaughn and Boss say that there has been a 200% increase of students identified with learning disabilities since they began to use the RTI model. So now, students are being identified earlier through the RTI process and provided the appropriate interventions, so more students are able to respond. In RTI, there are 4 key components. Number 1, RTI must implement high-quality, research-based instructions matched to the needs of the students throughout all of the multi-tier levels of support. We'll talk about the tiered levels later in the presentation. So teachers shouldn't teach how they want or what they think will work. We must use instructional programs, materials, and practices based on the best research available. Number 2, RTI provides universal screening to identify students at risk and then monitor students' learning over time to determine their level and rate of performance for ongoing decision-making. This is when teachers look to see if the students are progressing towards meeting goals and benchmarks compared to the other students in the classroom and grade level. Number 3, provide interventions of increasing intensity when students continue to struggle. This could look like reducing group size, increasing time of intervention, and tailoring the instruction to better meet the instructional needs of the student. Or the teacher might restructure or regroup students. Number 4, make important educational decisions based on data. Teachers must use the students' responses to determine what instructional interventions to use, the intensity of the intervention, time, group size, and duration of interventions. That's what makes RTI so successful. It's response to data. In RTI, there is a 3-tier model. Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. Tier 1, classroom instruction. This intervention is the instruction that is provided to the whole class. It's the instruction through the curriculum. The general education teacher provides this instruction to all the students in his or her class. Number 2, intervention. The students in Tier 2 are those students who are struggling or not making adequate progress in Tier 1. Tier 2 instruction is still conducted in the general education classroom, but it is done in small groups with the teacher. The intervention is intended to reinforce the concepts or skills taught in Tier 1. Tier 3, intervention. Tier 3 is for students who continue to struggle or not make progress after Tier 2 interventions. Many students respond to Tier 1 and 2 interventions, but those who do not respond can participate in Tier 3 interventions, which are provided for a longer period of time. Materials may be changed or adjusted. And in Tier 3, students receive explicit instruction in small groups of 2 or 3, or sometimes individually. In some RTI models, Tier 3 can be special education. In other tiers, special education is in Tier 4. The key to the 3-tier model of RTI is to provide effective instruction early to ensure that students are provided with the resources and the support that they need to become proficient learners. Parents, a good way to think about RTI is through the connection of sight. In the same way that schools have checked children's vision for years to screen students for potential problems, screening for math and reading problems helps identify students who need treatment. This was by Vaughn and Boss, 2015. So, through monitoring, screening, progress monitoring, and effective research-based interventions, every student, your student, will get the help that they need and require to learn. All information from today's presentation was from the book Strategies for Teaching Students with Learning and Behavioral Problems by Sharon Vaughn and Candace S. Boss. Other resources include the National Center of Learning Disabilities. RTI is a great way to catch problems in behavior and learning early. Thank you.